Welcome back to game one of round 14, and it is the last round of the regular season. The finals are so close, we can smell them. Kim Green joining me in commentary for this one. It is the Giants at home to the Sunshine Coast Lightning, and it is a big game for the Giants. Kim, we spoke about that in the opener, their chance to secure third place and the all-important home final next week. Let's have a reminder of the Woolworths team card. And no changes for this Giants lineup that we see most weeks. Harton and Dwyer in the circle. Hay, Price and Parmenter. What a formidable midcourt. And Brownlee, McDonald will start in defence for the Giants.
And a strong lineup for the Lightning. Conan starting at shooter, Wood at goal attack. Sherian, Hinchcliffe and Cassidy through that middle. And Walsh gets the start at goal defence. Hinchcliffe out the back. We'll see Dehaney at some stage throughout this game. Batcheldor and Miller also on that bench.
Yeah, the last meeting between these two sides way back in round 7, and it was the Giants by a massive 28 goals. That, of course, though, was without Cara Conan. She had COVID, so she was out for the Sunshine Coast Lightning. I wouldn't expect a margin like that tonight, Kim.
No, I don't think so. And we've seen some impressive performances from the Sunshine Coast Lightning. Although they have lost the last couple of weeks, you can see the intent from them, and they're starting to build in. They're a team that won't lie down. This is their last game for the season. But for them, it's all about putting everything out there. And as we said in the pre-game, it's about contracts. It's about what might happen for them next season.
Well, we did speak to Kylie Byrne as she walked past us in commentary before, and I won't tell you exactly what she said, but it was along the lines of, we're going to stuff this up for as many other people as we can along the way. And so that is the job for the Sunshine Coast Lightning. There they are. They will be playing with complete freedom. What a nice position to be in. I mean, obviously you want to play finals, but to be able to play your last season relaxed and enjoy your netball. Everybody's fit, everyone's healthy, their whole 10 is here. It's also a nice moment for them to enjoy.
And you can see the smiles out there. They're super relaxed coming into here. I mean, we did see Katie and Dehaney wrapped up in all of her blankets because it is quite cold. But yeah, they're ready to play, and I think they're ready to step up and see what they can do for their last game of the season.
Well, speaking of ready to play, here come the Orange. It's the Giants at home, and it is a very, very vocal crowd here in Ken Rosewall Arena for this one. They know the importance of helping their team across the line, because this Orange Army, it wants to be back here in a week's time to take on whoever it is they're taking on. We'll have to wait till Monday night after the Magpies and the Vixens Melbourne Derby to know exactly who that will be if they can get this win here today. Cara Conan and McDonald, one of the great matchups in this game, as is the one out the front we mentioned. We just saw before Wood on April Brownlee. There's Jamie Lee Price, one of the players that was up for Aussie Diamond selection. Those players, as we mentioned, we'll find out Tuesday. She will get us underway here. And straight into the action and into the circle very quickly are the Giants. Absolutely no messing about.
Contact.
Great direct play from the Giants. You can see the intent early. Joe Harding coming out of the circle, creating mayhem out there.
And it was super quick, wasn't it? Efficiency. Sherian, Wood. Hinchcliffe had a standout season in her first year in the 10. The swing across, a bit more patient. Well, I talked her up. Well overcooked the pass into Conan.
Body construction attack.
An opportunity here for the Giants to start to put some pressure on early. If they can score and get up 2-zip, they will have the centre pass to follow. Dwyer trying to force a way through the top of the circle, can't get there. Oh, what a ball from Jamie Lee Price to Harton.
And that's what makes Jamie Lee Price so solid in that centre position. She can play out the front, she can play defensively, but she can also see those balls a little bit undercooked on that one.
Well, how's Jo Harton though? She just kind of looked at it and turned her head. What were you thinking throwing that pass? Luckily one of the Lightning players tipped it. They managed to keep possession.
I can tell you Joe would have been very honest with her about that pass.
Yeah, she is very cool as a cucumber at some points, but other times you can see exactly what she's thinking.
This is not the start from the Lightning. A break there and an overcooked pass. You know, the Giants are too good of a team to be able to just, you know, throw balls away or just do a coach killer, as they say.
Well, and those coach killers are things you do when you're nervous.
Yeah.
At the start of a big game, you would think they wouldn't be. Look at the Giants, though. Haven't they come to play? Well, they want to be back here next week, hosting this final, and wow, Joe Harton is absolutely schooling Tara Hinchcliffe at the moment, just giving her far too much space in the circle.
You can see that they've gone long, the Giants, twice to Harden, so that's the intent. Let's look for Harden, let's give it to her.
Well, again, it's come off the hand of young Maddie Hinchcliffe. And just like that, absolutely no defensive pressure through the middle. Kim, what's got to be done? How do you stop that?
That was really, you know, Steph Wood just even looked at the bench to see what's going on, what do we need to fix. But in the meantime, Giants have gone down 3 passes and it's in. Have to be better than that. Got to get on transition and hold them up court.
Well, let's not forget one of the best defenders in the game. Sam Pullman is on the sideline for us. So let's get down to her and ask her that same question. What do they need to do? How quickly to get this defensive pressure on, Sam?
Well, what a start from Giants Netball. They certainly want that home final, but it's what we spoke about in pre-game, being one-on-one and dictating and denying. The start from Giants 6-0. Lightning need to adjust. They need to find their player.
Just like that, found them with ease on that occasion, but some work to do, down by 5, early days.
That was almost another break. It was close.
Oh, Kylie Byrne, wow. Oh, well, there you go. There's the connection. That's 2 of the Aussie Diamond shooters in the circle together, and that's what we expect to see from this attacking line. Maybe it's taken them a little while to warm up as well, like Katie Ann Dehaney with the blanket on the sideline.
Sunshine Coast Lightning have gone from a one-on-one to a wall into a box to try and split up this Joe Harding connection.
Well, still not having much luck in stopping the flow, though, are they? Well, another little tip. There they are. Spot the Jamaican in the middle trying to stay warm. It is cold here in Ken Rosewell Arena, but it's heating up on the court. The Sunshine Coast Lightning have started to find some form here.
Here's this wall again. Let's have a look.
Well, it's working in the first phase to a degree, isn't it? But then penetration just far too easy in that middle movement.
Yeah, the whole point of the box and the wall is to push the players wide like this. Beautiful. Hinchcliffe's been able to get a hand to the ball, but, you know, in that second phase in particular, they need to be able to keep it nice and tight to push wide.
Just the 5 turnovers at the start of this game. And still not the flow down here, even though they got it out of defence pretty quickly. Great take from Cara Conan under pressure from both Giants defenders.
She's so strong in the air, Cara Conan. I love when she really steps up in that role and takes on that holding. Then she has a really great knack of coming out. But if she does that, there's no one in the circle. That's the problem. As a shooter, Kath, what are you looking for?
Well, you need someone in the circle, don't you? You need a target. Someone's going to get the points on the board. Steph Wood will line up for her first shot of the game and drains it. So they've got themselves back to within 2 here, the Sunshine Coast Lightning, after being down 6-0. Maddie Hay just takes a little bit of a slip on the floor. All the way back to Branley, to Hay. Through the middle, Harden. They have exploited that this whole quarter.
Gosh, she's smart. She sees it and she drives. But what I'm really liking about the Sunshine Coast Lightning is now that Wood is out the front, she's doing a wealth of work. But that was a beautiful ball to Conan. But it's because she's underneath the post. So if we can continue to keep that going for the Sunshine Coast Lightning, they're a threat.
Well, that's one of their big skills, isn't it? It's Wood out the front and then it's Cara Conan exploiting that baseline. Seen that dominance happen many times this season. Well, 2 great offers there. The front one, Dwyer and Harton holding at the base. Sophie Dwyer sinks a long one. They keep it to 3, 100% shooting for the Giants and also for the Sunshine Coast Lightning. No issue in that department. Just this one at the moment for the Sunshine Coast Lightning, but that connection is growing in confidence.
The connection between Wood and Conan is building, but the mid-quarters out the front I don't think have quite found their feet.
Again, twice that middle channel, Kim Green. Way too easy.
Jo Harden will do that all game. She, you know, if you don't stop that, she's going to do it all game and just completely open up that box.
Well, and that's half the challenge as a player is reacting and changing what you're doing in the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, and if Harden's going to come out and take that ball, they need to isolate her and then go for the next one, but they're not doing that just yet.
Conan outside the circle, little drop back to Sherian, who wants to get on with the job, needs a player to do so. Well, the contact's coming thick and fast outside the circle, but it's just the placement of the feed, and that was again off the hands of Hinchcliffe.
Yeah, the Hinchcliffe-Wood combination is not quite working at the moment. I would suspect that Kylie Byrne might have a look at something else, bring Miller on, see if she... They just take a beautiful intercept, but let's see if they can bring it down. Sherian is now starting to bring herself into the game a little bit more. Lucky feed on that one.
Well, I think I saw a little fend coming from Cara Conan as well. And you called it, Kim Green. It is an HCF timeout going the way of the Sunshine Coast Lightning. Are they planning on making any changes in this moment? Or Kylie Byrne just wants to have a little chat about what's been happening in this opening quarter. When she gets there, we'll have a little listen. Just 2 down, so they've got themselves back in the game, the Sunshine Coast Lightning.
Okay, good. Yeah, good fight back and good change to the ball. Just be prepared that Joe's just biding a time in the middle, ready to punch forward. So you almost collapse on her and let Soph do the work out the front. But you've got to have eyes on Joe. She's just waiting in there. The switching to the body. I reckon though, if you are back in the 2-on-1, do your job on her though. Hey, just on this line down here, make sure we're ball side 2 on and the other one 2 on ball side, so it has to go up and over. Hey, just high and wide at the moment. They've just used the last 3 straight down the middle of the court to see if we can really hard 1-on-1, but you guys, Okay, come on, push from here.
Well, Kim Green, do you know what I love more than anything in life?
What?
When we're chatting about something in commentary, the coach addresses it straight away when she gets a team. Phew.
I must admit, we're sitting here going, we should be coached.
Yeah, we're on track at least, but what did she say to her team in that timeout? What does she want from them?
It was pretty much, Joe up the middle, you need to stop it. If you don't stop it, then you have to create something else. So in attack, she's also asking for an overload in that attack space.
Well, already we can see a different sort of defensive format, really clogging up the Giants there, and a bit more of a zone sort of structure. They still find Harton, but she's a lot higher in the circle. Doesn't matter to Jo Harton, though. She's come to play as the Giants' quest to go one better really kicks up a notch here tonight.
We see Conan out of the circle once again. I think the breakdown is this second phase for the Sunshine Coast Lightning. They're trying to stay in the same channel, which is great. However, it's just a really long run from Sherian, so if they can just shorten it up, as Steph Wood takes a long shot. We haven't seen her do this too much tonight.
Well, it was a long shot and a miss, but she got the solid rebound. Let's go down now, though, to Sam Pullman, who's on the sideline for us.
I listened in to the Giants huddle. They spent a lot of time, this attacking unit, speaking about how you get through this zone. We have a look at Lightning now. They have gone back to 1-on-1. As we see a beautiful feed from Sophie Dwyer, but it was all about finding that middle channel so that Lightning have an angle to have a crack at that ball. So Giants spent a lot of time talking about how they can beat it. And let's see what they can do in these next 5 minutes of this quarter.
Well, no issues there. Jo Harton adds another to her tally, 8 from 8. To start this game, really has been in complete control of that goal circle. Steph Wood into Conan. Doesn't want to shoot it, even though she was just inside. Well, there's the lesson learned. Too good a defensive unit, this Giants side. Take your opportunities. And as we've said, majority of this quarter, they're down in their goal third very quickly. But the good news is they've paused here for a bit, Kim, and that hadn't been happening prior.
Yeah, just a change of pace completely changes up the angles of the defenders, and they have to think about something different. So, great by Giants. Here's the highlights from Harvey Norman replay here. Beautiful tip from Parmenter. And Tilly McDonald getting those gains that Sam Pullman talked about, as we've just seen a great contest from Hinchcliffe outside the circle.
Well, great contest. It looked like a full-blown contact, didn't it? But she got away with it. Jamie Lee Price had her hands in the air asking the question of the umpire. In the meantime, though, we have hit the power 5. And both of these sides, plenty of talent when it comes to the Suncorp Super Shot. This lady here, one of the best in the game. Well, tip from Branley, but the penalty, so Steph Wood will get another crack at it. And that's something you don't want to do.
They still go for that one under the post. Branley had such great timing on that. Unfortunate that she just hit the hand.
Well, this is the other thing you don't want to do. A circle defender penalised that far from home. Lightning got to be smart here and get it in quickly. They do exactly that. Steph Wood, well, the miss. That could have got them back to 2.
A nice little penalty from Cassidy just to slow down the ball.
Well, and then all too easy to find Joe Harton again. Hasn't missed Joe Harton. Apologies, just the one miss to Joe Harton. But plenty of numbers. Again, just some silly passing errors creeping into the game for the Giants. Now up to 10 turnovers.
Now that's a beautiful passage of play down the court. Great transition. Looked really confident the first time that we've seen that from the Lightning tonight.
Oh, as we said, it's cold in the stadium, but it's certainly hot on court at the moment. So the Sabco mop out, clean up a little bit of sweat. Plenty on the line here. Wood. Hinchcliffe. Back to Cassidy. Long ball, Sherry, and well, Parmenter had a good look at it. Conan. The swing to Hinchcliffe. Again, penalties galore happening outside the circle, both teams. Steph Wood, well, still doesn't want to have a crack at it. Happy to chip away early days here. The Sunshine Coast Lightning back to 2. 2.5 minutes remaining in this opening quarter.
If we take a look at the last 10 goals, you can see Lightning have just gone on a little roll of 2 in a row. And they'll need to keep pushing at that to keep that consistency and confidence up here. But I want to have a look at Steph Wood. Have a look at, just track her and April Branley. She does a wealth of work out the front here. She's out the front again, trying to create where the middies should probably be doing that work.
Steph Wood certainly does love to control a lot of that play, doesn't she? Here's your shooting stats, 100% Cara Conan and dominating 11 from 11. Steph Wood really doesn't have the radar on just yet, but you know she can find it. There she is, Steph Wood. Announced as the captain of this side for the season. Oh, long ball, good vision. It's opened up nicely to find Cara Conan. Now 12 from 12. Cracking start to this game from her. Branley. Hay. Dwyer. Jamie Lee Price. And again, Harton. It's almost like she's undefended in this quarter, Kit.
Yeah, and do you know what? Anytime Jamie Lee Price has the ball in the hand, you know that she's looking for Harden straight away. Lightning would know that, so every time Jay gets the ball, you need to be ready to go, and Hinchcliffe's just a bit flat-footed at the moment.
Well, again, nice take from Cara Conan under all sorts of pressure from Tilly McDonald. Steph Wood gets them back to 2 again. They haven't been able to crack that 2 margin, though. Reminder, they were down by as much as 6 at the start of this quarter, though, so got themselves back into the game. Not much in that time and possession, is there? As we see Dwyer drain an absolute beauty. Suncorp super netball shot. Gives the Giants now a 4-goal buffer as the seconds count down. Hey, the intercept. Plenty of time here for the Giants to score. Look at Jo Harton plant herself in that white arc. Yeah, she almost needed a flashing light on her head. This would be a beauty if she can make it fall. She can't. Little too late now, I'd imagine. Well, there it is. The first quarter done and dusted, and it's the Giants that lead the Sunshine Coast Lightning by 4.
Welcome back to Ken Rosewell Arena. Quarter-time break here, brought to you by Origin Energy. I listened into the Lightning huddle. They were speaking a lot about their defensive unit and using their structures between a one-on-one and a box and continuing to use that hedging. And in attack, they were really positive, but making sure that they land on top of the circle. Kimmy, what did you hear in Giants quarter break huddle?
Yeah, thanks, Sammy. Julie went straight to her defenders, recognised that both goalers are outside of the circle for the Lightning and to keep them out. The other thing that she talked about was keeping the intensity of the workload and the defence work out the front to make sure that they're able to create something at the back, so creating that pressure.
Lots to be said in both of the huddles. In this round 14 blockbuster, the Giants playing for that home semi-final next week. And a very impressive start from the Really, leading by 4, 19-15. 6 gains for the Giants in that first quarter. And no issues with the shooting accuracy. Jo Harton dominating, but it's Jamie Lee Price that will get us underway here again in the second quarter. Branley, Harton out of the circle. She's been there a lot this game. Dwyer, Harton, the big swing across the circle. Harton just so quick.
Here with the goal attack. With the goal attack.
Oh, Sophie Dwyer loves anything from distance. The Giants now out by 5. Parmenta had a good crack at it. Steph Wood goes down in the back of play. Oh, Dwyer, well, she thought she got away for it. A little moment. Umpire not having any of it. Look at the contacts, Kim Green. 14-4.
And it doesn't,
what does
it
that
feel
tell
like,
you?
Well, it just means that the Giants are actually going for things like Tilly just then came around the body.
But does it also tell you that the Lightning are that far off the pace?
Yeah, I think it is. And to be honest, you know, the first quarter you're always trying to figure out what the umpire's seeing as we see this beautiful play down the court from the Giants. But yeah, they have to start getting themselves in the game here. And I think the Sunshine Coast Lightning have started better. You can see the intent of going from a wall to a one-on-one now. And you can see that they're just delaying the ball a little bit more.
Dwyer, this distance not long ago while she's sinking them. That's why she is so valuable in the last 5 minutes of every quarter when that Suncorp super shot is in play. Loves that distance. There she is again, Sophie Dwyer. Harton, the English international, will not miss from there. Well, it's a good start to this quarter, just through the legs of Steph Wood.
Oh, no way!
Yeah, well, it looked like April Branley interfered a little bit with that play, didn't she? And she's got away with it.
Steph would not happy about that either, and I wouldn't be, you know, just having to regain the ball. And let's have a look at here on the Harvey Norman replay.
Yeah, well, she had it, didn't she? And it was Branley that went in there and...
Sneaky defenders.
Yeah, didn't she? What? That's why we love them. If we don't have to play on them. Branley, the thief. There she is.
Again,
Branley again.
Lightning doing a great job of delaying the Giants. In the first quarter, this would have been in the circle already.
I'm sorry. Did you just see the footwork from Jo Harton?
Do you know what? On a Saturday night, that's her fault.
Wow.
On the dance floor.
Some impressive footwork coming from the captain of the Giants. Sherian, the big drive onto the transverse line. Conan, long way from home. Wood. Henchleaf. Well, Henchleaf has had the fumbles a lot in this game. Don't know if she's got numb hands. It is cold in here tonight. Or maybe just a little overwhelmed by what's happening. I wouldn't have thought so after a full season. Great touch pass from Sherian to Conan.
Sherian almost relieved that that ball got there.
Have a look at this movement from Joe Harton, though. The roll out and then the fake back with the little 1-2. Wowza. Surely she doesn't even know what she's doing half the time.
She's pretty impressive. Look at that swing. Gorgeous swing from Price to Hay in the pocket. Opens up Dwyer, completely different angle. Beautiful attack from the Giants.
Sophie Dwyer getting in on the defensive action.
I'm looking to the Sunshine Coast bench. So I'm waiting for Miller. Come on, you have to change something here. Down by 9. Something needs to be shifted.
And that's where you think it's got to be shifted.
Absolutely. Or you play a close circle, get the shooters in the circle, allow Wood to do something under the post and bring the mid-quarters into the game.
Well, back of play, Kylie Byrne has just made her way down the bench. Interestingly, though, she's gone to Batcheldor. You can see in the back of play there, sitting there next to her, she looks like she's about to start the warm-up. So the process of getting this margin back to something a bit more reasonable is happening.
Here she goes. Will they wait for the Power 5, Kath, or will they go straight away?
Well, you'd think you'd go straight away, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to narrow this margin. You don't want to rely on that Power 5. We've seen on occasion it works. We've seen on other occasions it blows the margin out more if they're not falling. And have a look at that. Wowza. Now is the time to do something. One of the last 10 to the Sunshine Coast Lightning. That change has got to happen effective immediately.
And here we see, she just had a goal shooter bib on Batcheldor, and now she's swapped to goal attack. Maybe
well, it's all happening, but in the meantime, the Giants continue. They are now up by 11. Change has just been made, so Batcheldor. Bit of confusion with the bibs, but now in that goal attack role. Cara Conan stays on at goal shooter. What can the youngster do? Her first season in a contracted 10 with the Sunshine Coast Lightning.
Someone in this Lightning attack needs to take control.
Well, it's normally Steph Wood, but Steph Wood has just been taken off the court. So is that for just now a period to think about a different change? Will she come back on? We've seen her in that wing attack role for the Sunshine Coast Lightning. She is such an important playmaker in this lineup.
She is, and she's such a great leader, but I'm not certain that tonight's been her game. And I think Sherian's doing, such a wealth of work out the front, and I think she's the player now that needs to stand up, bring Hinchliffe into the game, get Batcheldor a little bit deeper, let them do the work. They're the guns. They're the engine room of this team. They can do it.
Well, they've won possession back. That is step one. They need to score from it here, the Sunshine Coast Lightning. Can young Riley Batcheldor stand up to it? Well, she sinks the first one. And we know she is also very handy when it comes to that Suncorp super shot period, that Power 5. Another tip, Hinchliffe. Jamie Lee Price doesn't like it, but got no time to whinge. Well, Batcheldor, what a difference she's made. And Julie Fitzgerald knows it. Just calling the HCF timeout. She wants to stop that little momentum shift I think we just felt there from the Sunshine Coast Lightning. And she's gone straight to Tilly McDonald. Let's have a listen.
Just remember, you know exactly where she wants to go. She's going to roll out and go that way. So you know exactly. So close on the back of that. Really good start, guys. It's particularly in terms of winning the 10. You've done very, very well, all right? Just make sure that we keep doing the moving ball. We don't want to be throwing balls over big arms. We don't want to be coming to it, all right?
Sorry, so if I grab that one. Do you want to give that to me? Yes, I need to be stronger.
Make sure you're keeping them up and all, all right?
Yeah, because I know she's really good. I say here.
We want long feeds coming in now, so that they've got time to run over, all right? Long feeds. Good job down here, good job.
Good job, it's so get a turnabout. Let's all. Here we go. Let's go find out now, yeah? Good work, girls.
Guys, there's 7 or 8 minutes to go. We're only halfway through this quarter. We've got to keep building on the score, okay? Do the work.
Coming out of a timeout, we're going up here, yeah? So energy, we're going for the ball, finishing off down our end. Here we go. Guys, are 3 1 2 3
Joe Harton say we're coming out of this and we're going up, and by that I would suggest they're trying to switch this momentum shift. Kim Green, they want to stop that little roll and that confidence that the Sunshine Coast Lightning was starting to feel.
Well, you heard Julie Fitzgerald talk about winning the 10, so that was the first 10 minutes of the quarter. Now it's about building again. She's really impressed with them, but it's now when the changes are starting to happen, that's what they need to get onto. But we have a look at the Nissa Net Point match leader, Tara Hinchcliffe, right up the top. You wouldn't have guessed that from the scoreline, but she's starting to bring herself into the game a little bit more.
Yeah, Tara Hinchcliffe, 3 gains, 1 intercept, 3 deflections as well. So she's being annoying, and that is her job as a defender. Get in there and disrupt play and turn it over if she can. Well, quick feet, quick play from the Giants, particularly between Price and Hay. Well,
Contact centre.
Hinchcliffe again.
Around to your centre, yes.
Yeah, too easy. Always going to go to Harton. It's got to be shut down. It's worth almost a bit of a double defence at this point, you think, Kim, just to mix it up.
Yeah, or even jump on that ball. You know, they've got their hands there, but are they doing actually anything with intent? Here comes Conan out the middle there. The fact that they've got Sunshine Coast Lightning have 2 talls in this circle now creates something a little bit different, a different dynamic.
There's the quick hands on the Harvey Norman replay between Dwyer and Joe Harton. Well, Bachelor, both guilty of standing still.
Both playing a holding circle.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
One's got to move.
Well, they score off it nonetheless. They've got it back to 8, the Sunshine Coast Lightning.
Look at that beautiful depth from Maddie Hay. Just sets up Joe Harden. And Joe's so smart. She'll play the penalty on that, bring the umpire into the game. She's done that perfectly.
And in perfect strike position to Joe Harton. 18 from 19 for the captain of this Giants side. A big game for the Giants, we've mentioned. A chance to host the minor semi-final next weekend. Oh, Cara Conan, the master of getting in the smallest gaps on that baseline. 5 minutes, just over 5 minutes to play. So soon in the Power 5. Will Riley Bachelor step up and take some of the shots for the Sunshine Coast Lightning? Been solid this season there, as has, well, both of these ladies, Harton and Dwyer, find themselves in the top 5 again for Suncorp Super Shots this season. Bachelor, long to Sherry and can't keep it in. Oh, they're making hard work of it here, the Sunshine Coast Lightning. McDonald, Price, Parmenter, Hay, long to Dwyer, Branley. There it is, the siren. We are now in Power 5 time. Oh, the argy-bargy between the two. Harton plays it out because she wants to drain this Suncorp Super Shot. She does just that. Really starting to put the scoreboard pressure on now, the Giants.
And the intensity of just picking up that ball on a penalty as she goes in again, to just turn it quickly and go back into that super shot range. The Lightning was still looking as to what the umpire was calling. We need to get on to that.
Well,
that's where the energy needs to shift.
Yeah, just saw some of the tricks out of Joe Harton's book too, with a sneaky little dish off to Dwyer. As April Branley gets in on the action. And McDonald! Well, they're doing everything right here, the Giants.
What a great shot that was. You could see the outside arm from Tilly McDonald coming around the body beautifully and getting that turnover.
Look at the work in attack that April Branley's doing right up on the transverse line, so involved. Here's the tip coming from Branley in the chase to keep Conan out of the action. Oh, this takes the Giants to 13. A reminder, the last meeting in round 7, it was the Giants by 28 goals. That was without Cara Conan. We didn't think we'd be looking at a margin similar, but maybe we are, Kim Green.
It's not looking good, Kath, for the Sunshine Coast Lightning, and something just needs to shift in this defence end. You know, it's just getting a little bit too easy, that connection between Dwyer and Harden. They're doing a fantastic job. They're almost playing 2 plays ahead, and you know you're in good form when that starts to happen on court. Sunshine Coast Lightning just struggle a little bit of getting it down the court.
Well, let's get down to Sam Pullman on the sideline, who loves talking defence. What can they do to fix this problem?
I sure do. I think the Giants' attack line, it's all too easy for them, and the entire team is up and about and confident around everything that happens on court. Defensively from the Lightning, it's about dictating and denying. Where do you want your play to go? Have a look at the ball as it moves down. The Giants attackers can do whatever they like. They can run wherever they like, and there's always options. So I think they need to go back to potentially a box, have a look at a change of setup, Lightning, or they've got Dehaney as Harton comes up. That's what I mean. Harton's the one that's doing the work, and Lightning are just nowhere to be seen. So bring Dehaney on, change it up, because at the moment, the Giants attackers are just all in control.
Yeah, well worth a shot, isn't it? Really can't win a trick there. Managed to get Harton to miss a shot. Can't clean up the rebound. Nothing going to plan here for the Sunshine Coast Lightning. Can Bacheldor change that? Well, she is good from this distance. She'll get another shot at it. Will she take it? No. The pass off to Cara Conan. Well, down by 13, probably needs to start taking some of those moments, those Suncorp super shots, because it is all too easy up the other end for the Giants. They are just warming up here in Sydney.
This is the kind of game Joe Harden plays for.
Unbelievable work.
Gosh, he's been impressive this season, and that closing speed from Amy Parmenter is just impressive.
Well, it's why she finds herself in the Nissan Net Points rolling team of the year too. Amy Parmenter have a cracker of a 2022 season. Here's the work from Parmenter. Gets the tip and then has to go around the body to keep it alive.
And to be honest, that was a 50-50 call from the umpire, but the fact that Amy Parmenter continued to drive onto it, pick up the loose ball, it's her ball. That's what the umpire will see, the intent from the player, and she wanted it more.
Cara Conan outside the circle and no one to dish off to. She'll get back in now. Well, ball placement, not great, but pulls it in, Cara Conan. So still 13 the difference here. It's been a 19-10 quarter so far. The Giants well and truly in control as Sophie Dwyer finds herself in a spot she loves. And how is that rebound? Unlucky. She can't keep possession.
Oh, Branley. Now they can go out looking for something. But the last time these two met, the third quarter, was where Giants did most of their damage. So they're going to, the Sunshine Coast Lightning are going to have to come out of halftime absolutely swinging.
Well, no doubt that'll be something that Kylie Byrne, their head coach, reiterates at halftime. And there it is. That is the end of the first half. And it is the Giants in a very comfortable position, leading the Sunshine Coast Lightning by 12. Plenty of work to happen as the two coaches for the Sunshine Coast Lightning come together. What can they come up with to try and slow down this Giants attack line that is basically purring its way to a home semi-final? Let's get down now to Sam Pullman, who's one of the Giants defenders.
I'm here with Tilly. You always do, but you look like you're enjoying it out there and full of confidence. How does it feel?
Yeah, it's great out there. Harmy and AP are doing amazing out the front of me, and it's just, yeah, great vibes, and we're connecting really well today, so it's really nice netball.
It's fun, isn't it? You come up against a really impressive lineup with the attack Lightning in terms of Wood and Conan. What was the focus coming into this game?
Yeah, I think for us, our focus was just variety and changing it up and working together as a unit, because that's when we're most effective. So, yeah, had credit to them, they're great shooters, but yeah, we're just having a crack.
Tilly, if you need a pep talk to finish the second half, Giants have only won 2 games, more than 2 quarters. So what do you need to do to make sure that these next third and fourth quarters are winnable by Giants?
Absolutely, I think we just need to come out, have a great halftime warm-up, get around each other and just keep that momentum going up.
Well, keep the energy and good luck for the second half.
Welcome back to Ken Rosewall Arena, and it is the place to be at the moment. The Giants in a fabulous position, up by 12. Whitney Houston blaring in the background. My co-commentators Sam Pullman and Kim Green dancing along. It is a big second half though coming up for the Sunshine Coast Lightning. The Giants well and truly in control of this game, taking that first quarter 19-15 and the second 20-12. Let's get straight down to the head coach of the Sunshine Coast Lightning, Kylie Byrne. Kyles, thanks for joining us. Got to ask you straight up, what was your message at halftime? How do you get yourselves back in this contest?
Yeah, look, we are encouraged after the start when we had to peg it back. You know, we got back into it. So I'm still confident we can get back into this. But the main messages were, you know, in the end, we've got to convert our centre passes. So it was just what line we were running to the ball. So we were very lateral and we were giving balls too close to the Giants. And just some defensive pressure as well.
Sorry, Carl. The change-up of Batchelor coming on, what were you hoping for there?
We just needed someone moving strong onto the ball and just a bit more movement out there. And, you know, Rue still has that youthful enthusiasm and she just wants to get out there and give it a crack. And, yeah, it was just for a different change-up.
And we've seen the change-up again of Ruby going back to goal shooter. What's I guess the mastermind behind that?
Yeah, it's actually more about Cara and just giving her some space to run. She's had some fantastic, you know, games out there at goal attack, and she brings good defensive pressure as well. So it's just getting some space for her to hopefully get some ball.
Well, thanks, Kyles. We'll leave you to it. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Thanks, guys.
Well, Steph Wood now also out at wing attack. And we mentioned that that's been happening a bit this season. They really need her on court. I like this change-up. I felt the weak link really was Maddie Henschleif in the middle. That's where the errors were coming. That change has been made. This feels stronger. It feels more confident already to make it.
Yeah, and you can see Steph already, you know, getting out there. Beautiful intercept from Tara Henschleif. Gosh, she's been good today. She's been Sunshine Coast Lightning's best. But what Steph Wood does is exactly the same role in the goal attack. She's a feeding role. She stays out the front, but it gives Conan that opportunity to play a little bit deeper.
Look at that ball movement. That
Beautiful.
is a different Sunshine Coast Lightning team already. They got the steal through Henschleif and they scored off it, and they look confident in the process. Back to 10 here. The Sunshine Coast Lightning. Can they build on it? Batchelor, straight, direct. Oh, it comes off McDonald, so they'll keep possession. Sherian. Again, over the top. Well, McDonald's being a serial pest, isn't she? Not getting the ball back, but all of those contacts, all that disruption is creating doubt in the mind of the feeders out the front.
It absolutely is, but what the Sunshine Coast Lightning can take from that is that they can start to build a little bit, you know, of a flow there. Now that she starts to bring that pressure off by, you know, having those contacts and the obstructions, it releases the pressure.
Joe Harton tried to force her way through, couldn't. Doesn't matter though, because Dwyer has the long one. And that connection again, there's been no issue with that. Well, there's a couple of ladies that got well and truly into the spirit of things. The Orange Army has been very supportive and vocal this game. You can only imagine what it'll be like if they can secure that home semi-final next week. Batchelor, another 5 from 5 in regular time, and just the one attempt at a super shot. Branley, well, nowhere to go. One of the few occasions there hasn't been an option in the attack line for the Giants. Shimon, well, I thought she'd read that beautifully.
Contact goalkeeper.
Kate Walsh at his apologies.
Contact, goal attack.
Whoa, the miss too. And the contact on the rebound from Sophie Dwyer. So that is a big win for Walsh, and if they can score off this, it has been a cracking start to this second half.
There's not many opportunities where the Lightning, oh my
Oh,
goodness.
what do we think of that footwork call though, Kim
Yeah, it was a
Green?
bit of a carry. The feet weren't off the ground when she took off with the ball. So it definitely was a carry. Good call from the umpire. If we look at the turnovers here, Lightning are on 16. Giants creeping up a little bit with 10.
Here's the replay.
I mean, maybe I was a bit tough.
I reckon that was unlucky anyway.
You're a shooter.
Well, and I don't even hold a D badge umpiring, so I'm not. Shouldn't be making comment. Let's get down though to Sam Pullman, who's on the sideline for us. What have you made of this second half start from the Lightning, Sam?
Much better intensity and intent from the Lightning. I love the changes that have been made, and the players on court are actually bringing the energy. Steph Wood is providing a really nice crucial role in terms of her work ethic and then her vision inside the circle. And then defensively, they're doing a much better job of being in the contest and delaying it for the Giants. If they can continue to chip away, more opportunities in terms of gain of tips, intercepts and possessions will come their way.
Price to Hay and over the top. Well, we saw plenty of that happening in the opening half. That's one of the few we've seen in this third quarter to Joe Hart. 10 the difference. Sunshine Coast Lightning, plenty of changes in that attack line to start this second half. All of the experience. And then the young superstar in Bacheldor. Yeah, dicey ball to put over the top when McDonald's in the form she is at the moment, but a good connection to Conan.
A great start to this third quarter for the Lightning. You know, Sam Pullman spoke about the Giants wanting to step up and play 4 quarters. The last time they were able to do that was against this team. So we see that middle channel open up once again. But the Lightning need to keep stepping up here, and the Giants need to figure out what they're going to do going into finals.
Well, there's the best seats, I was going to say, in the house, but it's not. It's the best bed in the house, thanks to Harvey Norman. And that was the very lucky winner of that prize, Imogen. Thoroughly enjoying herself.
We need to get Sammy Pullman down there.
I think we should get Sam Pullman down there, actually. Sam Pullman, I expect to be talking to you from there on our next cross. We may not get Sam Pullman out of there, though. That will be the problem. There's that connection again, all too easy from Dwyer to Joe Harton. Joe Harton still just the one miss in regular time in this game, sitting at 96%.
And she's just toying with the defenders. Does she hold? Does she run out? Does she dodge on the baseline? Like, the fact that you can have that, and have a look at the shooting percentage as Brantley takes a beautiful intercept. Now look at this transition. Lightning have done a great job here of holding them up a little bit, but it did look like the Giants are going to fly.
Well, that long vision, that cross-court ball does the job, though, doesn't it, to make up the space. And again, there, well, it looked like it was going to be an easy 1-2. Here's the Harvey Norman replay. April Brantley eyes for it, up strongly. Whoa, Walsh, that's her second rejection of the game. One of the best in the business. Cannot buy a rebound here, the Sunshine Coast Lightning. So it got back to a decent 8, and now it is back out again to 11. And as you mentioned, Kim Green, it was the Giants' strongest quarter, their third quarter, in the last meeting against the Sunshine Coast Lightning. Didn't start it strongly, but they've warmed into it.
They definitely have. And I think, you know, looking at the Sunshine Coast Lightning, the opportunities are coming from the missed shots at the moment, which is rare for them from the Giants. So, you know, the Walsh and the Hinchley have to get on those rebounds, and they need to nail that, bring the ball down nicely for these attackers.
Quick 1-2-3 between Wood, Conan and Bacheldor. Just can't narrow this gap here. You'd expect in a couple of minutes' time when we hit that power 5, really going to have to start having a crack at those long shots and try and get some 2-pointers here. That will help their cause. Cassidy, strong. Well, it's a turnover they desperately needed, but they need to score from it. Bacheldor doesn't even turn to look at the post. Again, can't waste the ball inside the circle. Oh, I feel like I'm going to be Laura Geitz at the end of this game. My voice is on its way out.
Well, that's karma because you were bagging out.
I did bag her out. Yeah, you're probably right.
Poor Geitzy.
Nothing coming forward for the Sunshine Coast Lightning, all the way back, and a long ball. Bacheldor, comfortable from here, and sinks it. Back to 9. What do you think Kylie Byrne is thinking at this point? There is your last 10, and they've had 3 on the trot. Oh, well, Kate Walsh just too far off the body.
And they're playing that box formation once again, but Joe Harden's just so smart. You need to just keep it a little bit tighter so that the ball has to go into the wide channels. If you don't do that, there's no point in doing the box.
Yeah, Joe Harden is just sitting back there, biding her time, isn't she? Waiting for that perfect delivery to come, which it has done consistently in this game. Steph Wood on the circle. Bacheldor, again, doesn't want to shoot it. Well, interesting, because when it is the power 5, she will shoot those. So I'd like to see her just turn and back herself. Well, we just heard the whistle blown there, and it will be an HCF timeout going the way of the Giants. Still in control. They're losing this quarter, though, 8-10. What does Julie Fitzgerald want to have a talk to her team about? Let's get into the huddle and have a listen.
All right, we're chasing now. That isn't play in the back space. We're chasing them down the court. This is last 5. We've really got to push up, make sure we're ready for their yes. So that doesn't mean we're pushing or we're coming really high, all right? We're using our feet to get around and having a go, all right? But let's not let them just keep running in that space down the court. When she comes out, we come out with her, all right? Right, now they're going to go to 2s here.
We go back, we're going to get second phase, but then we break their little walls, and we go back, they will go, and then we got us at the third and fourth phases off that.
Put that one drive, because that will break it up and then we've got the next one.
Right, the little things be smart. They haven't got speed as much down there now, so it's the hands over, blocking the little moves. Here we go. Here we go. Giants on 3. 1, 2, 3, Giants. Let's go.
Well, Kim Green, you heard the final words there from Joe Harden saying, be smart.
Yeah, be smart. She's talking about the wall centre pass, go through the back and go over the mess. And then in defence, making sure that the hands over, keep them up as high as you can, create pressure, create the anxiety out the front so that Tilly and April Brownlee can go and have a crack at any ball. You can see this wall set up once again from the Lightning. They ignored it though.
Well, there's your Mr. Net Points match leaders, and it was Tara Henchleaf sitting at the top at the start of this game. Now it's 2 of the Giants, Hay and Harton. And then Sherry and Henchleaf Brownlee rounding out the top 5. So good to see a couple of the Lightning players in that top 5.
And I do want to talk about Hay because she's been the quiet achiever in this game, but she's had beautiful drives onto that top of the circles. We see Steph Wood and that connection with Conan.
Yeah, Hay quite often is that quiet achiever, isn't she? Just goes about her business, chips away, gets the job done, racks up those points and the Nissan Net points.
Lightning just putting their hands up and saying 2. That means that this is their second in a row. So they really want to be able to keep chipping away at the score, and you can see that's the intent. Beautiful feed from Sherian.
Well, they are doing just that, aren't they? Getting this gap back, now back to 7. So, whilst I thought they might have needed to attack this Suncorp super shot, maybe they're happy just to work hard, turn ball over and make sure they're scoring off it. The issue is, down this end, the Giants can drop them from anywhere as Joe Harden adds another to her list.
And Hay, beautiful feed from her. She could just see the space that Harden had allowed for her to throw into the space, and she just did a beautiful feed.
Well, again, happy to take the one under the post is Cara Conan. Sam Pullman, what's caught your eye?
For me, it's the Lightning defenders. I think we've spoken about it most of the night, but they just need to keep with their angles. You can see both the circle defenders trying to have a fly, which is exactly what you want to do, but you have to have an angle. So when a ball like that goes over the top, you can angle, get back up and get up, because when they do that, they're getting some really nice touches of the ball. And they don't want Giants to be sinking Suncorp super shots in this Power 5 period.
Well, that you are 100% correct on. That would be well and truly in the back of their minds anytime any team comes up against a Harton and a Dwyer. Bacheldor, though, has also been good. Again, doesn't want to shoot. She's got to start draining some of these shots. Just like that. Riley Bacheldor gets them back in the mix. 6 the difference.
And Kath, this game has felt like it's been all Giants' way.
It has.
But to think that there are only 6 goals in this game shows that Lightning are still chipping away at it. And they're so close. And if they can just change a couple of those timings of these players, my goodness, they're going to be in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And if they can start sinking a couple more Suncorp super shots in the next 2 minutes, that will help their cause as well. 7 the difference now. It was looking dire at one point. Well, this is a confident shot. Bacheldor doesn't get the lucky roll. Can they get the rebound? Well, she does.
And that was beautiful work from Conan under the post to really try and get that intensity up and create the energy for this team.
Final 2 minutes, Giants fans. Let's give everything we got. 7
2 minutes to go. 6 the difference. Joe Harton, well, again, absolutely toying with the defenders. I think everyone thought she was going to have a crack at that super shot, and then the no-look dish off to Dwyer to get to this point.
I wonder if she visualises at home just tearing apart defenders.
Oh, she with a big smile on her face as she's doing it, I reckon. Well, there's your time in possession. Bang on, 50% each. Still 6 the difference. Can the Lightning get this any closer before the start of the final quarter? Yeah, absolutely no need to force that long shot, the Giants, even though we know how dangerous they can be there. Dwyer, the swing to Hay.
Don't stand so close.
Don't stand so close. Can you imagine telling a defender to not stand so close? I love this umpire. What a pass again coming from Joe Harton.
And she's walked away, knowing that she's just going to nab that.
Well, it is the Joe Harton show in every aspect at the moment. The shooting, the passing. Bacheldor outside the circle, as was Cara Conan. They need one in, and they need one to strike in the white arc. Bacheldor knows it. Trying to get herself there. Well, they'll take the one. 10 seconds remaining. Is it enough time for the Giants? They'll have to be quick. Got to get it down. Everyone screaming long. Harton. Well, they run out of time, the Giants, but they still are in control of this game as they take a 6-goal lead into three-quarter time here at Ken Rosewall Arena.
Welcome back to Ken Rosewall Arena. We are at three-quarter break, brought to you by Origin Energy. Now, Lightning have come back into this game in that third quarter and are really trying to finish off and bring it to the Giants. Giants are in the lead by 6 goals. I listened into their huddle at three-quarter time. They spoke a lot about getting that depth and options in attack rather than just being huddled together and continuing to move their feet defensively and having a crack at that ball. Kimmy, what did you hear in the Lightning huddle at three-quarter time?
Thanks, Sammy. Yeah, I was listening into Kylie Byrne. The positional switch from Conan and Bacheldor in that attack end. So Conan getting back into the circle, Bacheldor timing her lead out the front. But they're also talking about defensively the wall into the box. It is working, that's where they're getting their gains. However, Maddie Hay is sitting in the pocket and just standing still. Walsh needs to go have a look at it.
It is the final quarter here of the regular season. The Giants, we know, will play finals. It looks like that will be in third position. The Lightning, though, Kim Green, this is their last 15 minutes of their season. They'll want to finish strongly. They did have a good third quarter. They won that third quarter 19-13. So after the Giants scored 20 in the second quarter, they then only scored 13 in that third quarter. That is a big positive for the Sunshine Coast Lightning.
It absolutely is, Kath, and you can see the intent from this change with Wood out at wing attack. She's done a great job. Bacheldor out and back into goal shooter. And we get another tip from the Lightning, you can see that this is this really fast-paced ball movement that they're looking for. And finished off with a shot. Well done.
Oh, another tip too coming from Conan.
And here's this box Kylie Byrne's talking about, but they're looking at Maddie Hay. Have a look at Maddie Hay. She's standing in the pocket. Walsh is having a look.
Well, Hay's got the ball in hand now, but it took a while to get there, didn't it? Wow, that was just pure luck for the Sunshine Coast Lightning. It looked as if it was going to be another absolute gimme to Joe Harton. Enter the goalpost, and the Sunshine Coast Lightning not doing themselves any favour forcing balls like that. Bacheldor took it strongly. Conan, though, picks up the penalty. Here it is on the Harvey Norman replay. The goalpost interfering there. You can see the look on Joe Harton's face. We mentioned that the Giants were after that four-quarter performance that they've only had once this season. Obviously, with that third quarter, 13-19, they don't get it. Oh, overcooks it, Bacheldor. Who's got the rebound? April Brandley. She looks fired up.
Taking on the body there of Wood and driving down. She does such a wealth of work in this attack end, April Brandley. Brings so much to this attack end so that they can get a little bit deeper in those pockets.
Well, there's your shooting accuracy on screen. Not too shabby. Was sitting up in the high 90s for the Giants the majority of that first half as Joe Hart adds another to her list to take the score out to 5.
I think it's in the goal third.
Yeah, a little bit of miscommunication there. It's out to Hay. Dwyer. Hay. Well, it's a little triple play between the two. What are they looking for? The same thing they've been looking for this whole game, and they're found easily. Joe Harton. 6 the difference. Conan. Bacheldor. The little drop pass to Sherian. Brownlee leaving absolutely nothing out on this court.
Where you are.
Conan, another. Cara Conan, 35 from 35. Yet to miss in this round 14 match, their last game of the season. Brandley, long to Dwyer.
You can see the pressure that the Sunshine Coast Lightning are creating here.
Oh, well, Henschliff, that's the whole object of the box, isn't it? And she was so very close to it.
And Jamie Lee Price did a great job of keeping that ball flat. If it did have a little bit of height on it, Hinchcliffe would have got that.
Joe Hart adds another. Wood up the middle to Bacheldor. Well, 2 flat, hard, direct balls. And just like that, the Sunshine Coast Lightning had another.
Now that was all Wood on that centre pass. She created the overload on one side, created the space for Conan to get the depth, and then straight in. That's the smarts that you can bring into that wing attack position from a goal attack. You can see it a little bit more. You've played in the circle. She's doing a great job out there.
Kim Green, the Lightning, they get a turnover here and they score. They have the centre pass to follow. They can get this back to 3. Unbelievable to think when we were looking at a margin in double digits not that long ago.
And the Giants will be kicking themselves that they've let them back into this game. Yes, Sunshine Coast Lightning have been playing better. Gosh, there's some good context in there.
Oh,
well done.
Another one out the front there. Parmenta on Steph Wood. 2 Aussie Diamond squad members. Reminder that team will be announced on Tuesday. Oh, is that a little smile I just saw from Julie Fitzgerald?
Oh, was she meditating?
Well, not Simone McInnes type meditating. Another ball, the quick vision over the top to Joe Harton. The crowd here love it.
The Hay-Harden connection tonight has been beautiful. They need to stop that.
Well, most of the connections, to be honest, to Joe Harton have been pretty spot on, haven't they? As is that one starting to fire too. Takara Konen, 7 the difference. Score definitely has been fluctuating in this game. The one constant is that it's been the Giants in front the entire way. Now back out to 8. And there it is, the timeout to the Sunshine Coast Lightning, the HCF timeout. Kylie Byrne, is this her last opportunity to make some changes? What will she do? What will they look like? An opportunity to get some players on for their last run of the season. Dehaney, the Jamaican international.
That back drive is awesome. Read up the middle there, so even if we put it up, we've just lost a little bit of width down this end as well. So remember, we just talked about at the break, going there, but what started well in that quarter was when we used the width across the court. Hey, defensive pressure, first phase, second phase. That's our focus. Let's get back to slowing that down, and then something will come. Okay, there's 8 minutes 55. We are still absolutely in this, but it's going to take everything to crack the bench. Let's get together and let's go. Lightning!
Here they come, the Sunshine Coast Lightning. 8 the difference to make up in just under 9 minutes. Well and truly, Kim Green. How do they do it?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, but Kylie Byrne went straight to her defenders and said, just keep trusting the process of the wall into the box. Really concentrate on the first 2 phases in particular, and something will come. But we did see Annie Miller come onto the court at wing attack, but then there was a bit of confusion with Steph Wood still being on court. So they've left Steph out there, but wouldn't be surprised to see Miller.
Oh, great take from Cara Konen. The challenge coming from April Brandley.
Giants!
And that's what Kylie Byrne's talking about. You have to stay in play on these ones to create the pressure. Hinchley could be kicking herself that she got herself out of play on that one. Beautiful.
Right, again, there's that connection you spoke about, Kim Green. Maddie Hay over to Joe Harton. Hay must be firing in the feeds department. She is. She's sitting on 42 for the game. Absolutely no issue there. Well, McDonald put the pressure on. Forced a ball that went a little awry, and the Giants have come up with it again. Oh, Hay did exceptionally well to keep it in.
No. Grabbing at her back here.
Jo Harden is one tough customer, and she doesn't look like she's comfortable at the moment. Went down hard trying to save this ball. Let's just have a look. Yeah, really landed strongly on 2, didn't she? Looked like she may have jarred her back. It's the first thing she went to grab. And that is the last thing they want to see.
She's told the physio to go away.
Well, that is what you do want to see. Get out of here. We got a game to finish, and we have got a home semi-final next week. If we can get this win, Wood.
What do you want, wing attack?
Still 8 the difference. Conan makes it 7. 7 minutes to go.
And here's the change. Kath, Annie Miller into wing attack, Steph Wood to the bench. You might see it going into goal attack. Burns going to her now to have a bit of a chat.
Yeah, don't be fooled for 1 second that because the Sunshine Coast Lightning won't make finals that this game doesn't mean anything to them. Plenty to play for here. Pride, number 1. And Kylie Byrne really just wanting to go out on a high.
And Steph Wood is a competitor. She wants to be out there. She wants to be putting her hand up and, you know, leading this team to this last win of the season.
Miller, well, she's come on with some fresh legs, hasn't she? Well, McDonald thought she'd got away with it. The call from the umpire. The ball all the way down the other end. There is the captain of the Sunshine Coast Lightning, Steph Wood. Is she off for a moment, just having a little rest? Will we see about out here? 6.5 minutes to go in this game, the first game of round 14. Price. Miller chases it up. Well, really making difficult work of it, the Sunshine Coast Lightning. Every ball is under pressure.
And Miller also was a Giant last season, so she was in the training partner pathway, and she'll be wanting to put out a good performance in this last 5 minutes as well.
Well, it helps her cause, doesn't it? She knows a lot of these players and how they play. Having said that, they also know her and how she plays. Sherian. Henschliff. Cassidy on the floor. No call coming. Well, that's probably a little bit of karma. Battledore. Well, McDonald, have a look at her.
I love Tilly McDonald.
Fired up and about.
She reminds me of a certain Fox commentator, Shani Layton.
I was going to say, no, I am not. Shani Layton, no spot on. Shani Norda, watching at home. I know that for a fact because she's been texting me throughout the game.
Hey, Shans.
There is the sign for the start of the Power 5. Sam Pullman, how important is this crowd for this last 5 minutes?
Well, haven't they come alive? I'm not sure if you can even hear me, Coxie, but this crowd knows how important this win is. At the moment, Giants are only leading this quarter by 1, and the Lightning in this second half have really brought it to them. So the crowd is really getting behind them. And we spoke pre-game about Giants needing to be consistent. So they need to switch on, win this final quarter, and they've got the crowd fully behind them.
Yeah, it is certainly a loud crowd in here, isn't it? Joe Harden adds another 41 from 42 at 98% in regular time for the captain there, Joe Harden.
And just adding on to Sammy's comments, it's all about the confidence. As we see Steph Wood injected back into the game, Conan to the sideline. Now, these are the players that, you know, vying for Australian selection.
These are the players that drain Suncorp super shots to Kim Green. So this is a last-ditch attempt from Kylie Byrne to get this scoreline back, even to nudge a win if they can against the Giants. Not out of the question. 7 the difference. Penalty outside the circle against Amy Parmenter, and this is exactly where they want to be, the Sunshine Coast Lightning, and that's exactly what they want to do. A Suncorp super shot to Steph Wood gets them back to 5.
Take a step back.
They need to turn ball over here. Who's going to do that for them?
Well, Walsh is having a good look at the back there, seeing anything deep. They're still in this box formation. Stopping that middle channel from Joe Harden to start.
Well, they've got to get Joe Hart out of the circle and now keep her there. When she's in the form that she's in, the last place you want her is right there with the ball in hand. And they have not been able to stop that all night. There's your score breakdown. The Giants in complete control in the first and the second. Big dip from them coming in that third quarter and level peggings in this final one. Steph Wood. Another crack at it and a penalty, so she'll get a third shot at a Suncorp super shot in this passage of play, and she sinks it. There are the two coaches, one looking down the barrel of a semi-final at home, one season ending in 2 minutes' time for the difference.
Interesting to watch the intent from two different teams. Obviously, Giants going for that 1 point, just ticking it over, trying to slow down the play a little bit. Lightning have to get going now. They need to get into that 2-point shot.
Well, they do indeed. Doesn't look like Batcheldor wants it, though. That doesn't help. Happy to give the job, the pressure to Steph Wood. Can't sink it, and there's the all-important rebound the way of the Giants. They will not rush this now. The Giants, will they, Kim Green? We see Joe Harden in times like these well aware of the clock, using up as much time as possible. Well, you don't need to when you goal attacks under the post, though, do you?
And Julie Fitzgerald is a stickler for just getting the ball in the circle. Don't play around with it too much. That's when you lose it.
6 the difference.
Great take by Hay.
1 minute to go. Well, I was about to say that'll be the nail in the coffin if Joe Hart can go and sink a Suncorp super shot, but she doesn't need to. Dwyer. Another. And there is your last 10. The Giants with 3. The last 3. And then before that, it was goal for goal. 7 the difference. Can Batcheldor get that back to 5 with a Suncorp super shot? She does.
Time.
Or you'd think the clock was against them now, the Sunshine Coast Lightning, because they need the ball back in hand, and that's exactly what's happened. Well, they've got to get a wriggle on here. They can drain a Suncorp super shot and have a centre pass to follow. It gets interesting.
And they're rushing back.
Well, as they should be.
Oh, Tilly McDonald. What an intercept.
Well, there it is. The full-time siren, and the Giants' quest to go one better in 2022 is on track. They lock in third position and they will host the major semi-final next week. They'll be back here in front of their Orange Army on Sunday. Against who? Well, we don't know that just yet. It could be the Magpies, the Firebirds, the Swifts, or the Thunderbirds. It is a big weekend of netball coming up, and we will most likely have to wait right till the end of it to Monday night as the coaches come together. Kylie Byrne, Julie Fitzgerald, and the teams in their final huddle. That will be the season all over for the Sunshine Coast Lightning. But it is only onward and upward for the team in orange. The Giants, look at the smiles on their faces. They know what they've just managed to do. Joe Harton, though, very level-headed. She'll be happy, but she'll know they've still got a mountain to climb, and that starts next week.
And again, I think they'll be disappointed that they didn't finish off that game. They only had half a game that they actually won. Sunshine Coast Lightning winning the second half, both of those 2 quarters.
Let's get down to Sam Pullman with tonight's MVP. No one's surprised by this, Sammy Pullman.
Well, congratulations, Joe. The Giants have just secured 3rd place in the Super Netball season in front of this home crowd next week. How good does it feel?
It feels It's amazing to go back-to-back in the finals series. A couple of years ago, we were sitting pretty unhappy in 6th spot. So to secure, I think it's the minor semi-final next week at home in front of our Giants Army. We can't wait to see you here.
Joe, when we looked at the start of this season, your team was hit with COVID. You were one of the first teams to lose players. I think you went through a whole squad just to field a team against the Adelaide Thunderbirds. How proud are you of this team?
I'm super proud. Every single athlete, whether it be in the contracted 10 or our training partners, have played a massive part to get us to this stage. And yeah, COVID's obviously a thing we're working with and we're dealing with, but I'm super proud of how we pulled ourselves together to get to this point.
Now, it pulls on heartstrings for me to remind you, but Giants have been in the grand final twice before. Is this the year that Giants will go all the way and lift that trophy?
Yes.
I'll say yes for you, Joe. Congratulations. You return here in front of a home packed out crowd next week. Go sing the song, enjoy the weekend where you get to relax and watch, and bring on next week.
Thanks, Sammy. Love it.
Big thank you to Sam Pullman and a massive congratulations to the MVP and the captain of a side that's made its way to a home semi. Joe Hart had an absolute blinder today, Kim Green. Little surprised by her answer about is this year. Surely she's toying with us.
No, can I tell you, she's the most awkward character, and I think she was just probably trying to keep her cards close to her heart, but I think she'll be wanting it more than ever, especially being that, you know, they've been in the grand final twice and not been able to take home.
And they were in that very first grand final too. She was a part of that side in the inaugural team for the Giants. And just one of a few players that's got themselves into year 6 with the club. So it certainly means a lot more to her than it may to many of the other Giants that have played. The Giants song is already in full swing here inside Ken Broswell Arena. Plenty of happy fans and plenty of happy players. Well, let's have a good look now at the full-time stats. Kim Green, what do you make?
Yeah, look, the games were just too much for the Giants. The 16 games to 11 Lightning. The penalties we spoke about, they started to even out in that second half. But turnovers also started to even out with the Lightning starting to tighten it up a little bit. You've got to remember, they had 15 at half-time, so only 6 for the second half. And maybe Kylie Byrne will be kicking herself as to why she didn't make those changes a little bit earlier.
Yeah, well, if we have a look now too at the ladder as it stands, and there they are. The Giants, they have locked in that third position, sitting at 32 points. The Collingwood Magpies, they don't play till Monday. If they can win that game up against the Melbourne Vixens, they will secure that 4th spot, and that will be your finals lineup. If they don't, though, it's going to come down between the Firebirds, the Thunderbirds and the Swifts, yet to play this weekend. So still, as we mentioned, plenty to keep your eyes on.